My talker Thomas. Thank you for joining my show. If you feel like it, you can give me a call at 805-574-9025. Again, that number is 805-574-9025.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And Red Bull gives you wings, everyone. Think about it. It's true. Let's see. So this show is about friends. This show is about friends who are your friends for a certain amount of time in your life and then completely abandon you. And this is what you do when you have really good friends in your life and then one day they completely abandon you. Yeah, I know. Best of luck. I know why that is, but sometimes I think it has something to do with alcohol. It's like we all come together when we drink, but sometimes we don't. You know, sometimes we learn that when we drink, we become total asses. I have a friend of mine who I met him at another friend's house. We were all musicians. My buddy Casey played the flute, wood flute, and Mike played the djembe drums. So this is where I met Mike. And Mike at the time, Sousen, his last name Sousen, he needed a place to live, so me and Casey helped him find a job and a place to live. And the job was a psychiatric tech at Tascaro State Hospital, and the place to live at the time was their dorms, so he could get a job and live somewhere. And at the time, he was pretty insecure about it. You know, he was just getting started with his work there and pretty nervous that he could do it. And he had to go to school for about a year or two there. And as of now, he's worked there about 10, 15 years. And now Sousen is one of these types who never calls me when I call him. Unfortunately, the last time I talked to him, he texted me and he said, well, he said some pretty nasty things. I'm not going to say it. But after that, I didn't hear from him. And it was interesting, nasty things he said, because it was a metaphorical statement, what he said. Filled with ideas of what the real reason is why he wouldn't talk. But sometimes people have to just, let go of friends and say, hey, oh well. Oh well. That apparently is necessary. I think it's kind of sad. But, hey, sometimes life's kind of sad. You don't get to hang out with your buddies and play music all the time. Oh well. There's no real good money in it. I've been working on it for over 20 years. Got a few bonuses here and there, but as far as something that could actually help, pay for a good, or pay for something, was, circumstance of having payment for what you do and then able to pay other bills. Well, it's not easy. And as you get older, you just wish it all worked out for everybody best you could. You know, people got to go work at the hospital. They don't want to come hang out with the guys at the bar playing music. So tired of getting in trouble for Facebook and things I say and do. I got censored on here to Facebook, and Facebook has a really nice way of not talking to you about anything. You have a really allegiant way of making sure whoever says something incorrect never gets any answers. Which all I have to say is if that goes too far, we'll have World War III here any day now. I watch enough TV to see you guys are up to no good with the cops, so it's apparently some hardcore shit is on the way. And especially if we live in a society that won't provide representation for those people who have gone overboard. You know, instead we got this kind of pass people around, and, you know, or in other words, if someone says something on Facebook you don't like, you can just tell Facebook you don't like it, and then Facebook will shut down that person, shut them down for a few days. It's a rather democratic system if you think about it, because for the things I've said that have slighted me, I didn't get off of Facebook for that much due to it. It just slowed down the progression. So tonight we have a open mic at McClintock's. Those of you who are interested can join us. You can come on in, have a seat. They'll probably want you to buy a drink or something at least, but there'll be live music there. They got food too. Buy the food. If you're one of those people who have money. The musicians, the ones you'll be watching, probably won't have any money to buy food there, but they'll be playing music for you. So not hip-de-doo-de-doo-dee. We ain't got money for the food ourselves, but we'll be playing music for you. Yeah. We like that. So anyway, like I said, this show's dedicated to those friends of mine who have ended their friendship with me. I don't want to say names. I don't want anybody to get any ideas. Like, let's not be friends with Chuck anymore. Or at least not talk to him at least anymore. That's kind of what's rough. I know there's some friends of mine, even on the outskirts, who just hardly ever talk to me anymore. And it's understandable. I'm a walk the talk, talk the walk kind of guy, but not a lot of people want to talk. They just want to walk. So there's some things in music I don't understand. Like, I don't really totally understand this band you're hearing in the background right now. I don't. I'd like to say I do because I like the music in a way, and I like the videos. But I watch them and I just go, what is going on? What are they trying to say about what this music is doing to people? You know? And most of it's orchestrated, it looks like. So it's like, it's not really Some of it doesn't look orchestrated. A lot of it looks like they're really out there. Anyway, I'm going to pause it because I don't want to get copyright issues for this song, especially because I like Rage Against the Machine. Any music you ever hear on my program, I'm in love with their music, man. I love the music. Not necessarily the politics. I don't know what the politics are about it. A lot of them, I really don't understand that. But music I get. I think the reason I get Rage Against the Machine is because I was 17 once. 18 as well, and I went out on the street with a guitar and played music for a while and found they didn't always like you out there playing music on the streets. That's pretty much why I like Rage Against the Machine. You see, the thing is, when you're 18 and you're playing guitar on the streets, you think you're a rock star, right? You think you're some sort of musician who's going to get some money for what you're doing, but in all reality, when you see a police officer, they all of a sudden think you're protesting. And if you're a big guy like me, they definitely think you're protesting. So they get around you. They stand around, I had many, many, many times when I was out playing an acoustic guitar and policemen were just standing around getting on the 10-4. And, I'm just playing music. I'm literally trying to make a living at 18. Hadn't been kicked out of the house. Never really got kicked out of the house. I say never really because there were always conditions to not having to be kicked out of my mother's house. So I always obeyed those conditions until one day an old man who wasn't my mother said to me, "Don't look me in the eyes." I had to leave at that point. You can't love someone if you can't look them in the eyes. And you can't play music with them if you can't look them in the eyes. Pretty harsh, too, because my father was in the military, and this guy who was my mom's boyfriend was in the military, too. So I saw a lot of commonalities. But unlike him, my father said I could be anything. And this guy just said, "Don't look me in the eyes." So I stopped looking him in the eyes and walked off the property. And even though I think it was another 2 weeks till I got my own place, due to the political actions of not looking him in the eyes, I got raised in a list of ability to get a place to live because I agreed I wasn't going to look this military guy in the eyes. He had too many PTSD issues, and I'm not the enemy, man. I was just a son, just a stepson, and had a guitar. So after 3 months in '96 of me playing on the beach, the governor sent my mother a really nice letter that got me all inspired to go to school for psychology. Ooh-wee, yay. Didn't like my guitar show enough, did you, huh? Gotta go to college. So I went to college. I didn't want to go to college. And that's why I relate with Rage, because their music sounds like they are raging against that shit, raging against the conservative nature of this country of ours, and that's what I could feel. It's like you go out there and you give it your best show. You think that the piggy working $60,000 a year just might drop you at 20. I don't know. Instead, he wants to run you off because he thinks you're protesting, playing old folk songs. And they want you off the street as soon as possible. Played for a long time in front of a few corporate stores in Atascadero and Morro Bay with a saxophone. Now I think maybe I shouldn't have done it because they took it the wrong way. I was really just trying to make a buck. They thought I was trying to steal every last cent from their store, just being outside of their store playing a saxophone, as if every single one of their customers thought on the way into Rite Aid or Albertsons or Starbucks or Vaughn's, like all those people were thinking, we're going to give every single bit of our money to Charles Thomas Pearson and not anything to the grocery store. Blew my mind, man. You guys want it like Disneyland out here, but most of the time it's like fascism. You go somewhere, try and do something right, play some music the right way, and you get like bottlenecked right out of there, or like told you can go back to school. That's the ultimate performer's sadness, is to tell them now that they're out there and they're playing their music and they're doing what they can, that they need to go back to school. That hurts. That really hurts. Gotta go back to school. You're out there in Pismo Beach playing your saxophone. We don't want to tip you, but we'd love you to go back to school. That's funny, man. That's why I'm not getting a shower, changing my clothes today. I'm just going as I am to the fucking McClintock's thing. Grunge is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. Grunge is alive and well. I call it saxophone grunge. You see me with a saxophone, it's going to be grungy and weird. It's not even jazz. People listening, that's not jazz. That's grunge jazz. You don't even try and go higher on your notes. You don't even try and learn more music. You just noodle. I get told I noodle a lot on the saxophone. You noodle a lot. Yeah, that's how all my best teachers taught me. Noodle, noodle. Or they taught me, you don't practice enough. Yeah. The ultimate conundrum, the more teachers you get on certain way, the more they'll tell you, till you're just out there going, well, anybody tell me I'm hitting this note right? Well, anyone just give me a pat on the head for hitting the correct note. Say, good, that's a good note. Anyway, this is Charles Thomas Pearson, the Mind Talker, live here for you. You have any psychological issues you want to talk about? You got depression, you got PTSD, we can scare all that shit away out of you. You don't need to deal with that. Give me a call, 805-574-9025. I'll hook you up. I'll shoot you straight. I'm real good at it, man. We'll put that number one thought first, We'll bring that number one thought. Everybody has that number one thought. Sometimes it's just kind of down on the scale inside of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Back where if you got a place to live, you got some food to eat, you got some clothes to put on you, those are the things that are really necessary. Those are the things people don't talk about a lot. But clothes, a roof over your head, and some food to eat. Those three things, a human being cannot go very long without those three things. All right? You've probably met quite a few of these people too. Because every now and then there's people like who they'll try and get through that by going, well, they'll sleep on the streets, or they'll get a tent, or they'll get just enough food to eat for the day, and then And then I'll go see the social worker tomorrow, or I'll call the mental health people some other time. I've been some 30 years in the mental health profession. Well, hold on. Let me split that up. I've been some 15 years as a patient and 15 years as a counselor. So I got to do both things. The only reason I haven't been doing counseling is because I'm not good at paperwork. I got journals at home. I can write down my own thoughts and feelings and whatnot. I do that. But so what? My paperwork, when it comes to the people who are coming in and getting help, is no good. It's like I can help them feel better and better being there, present for them and everything. But if I don't write down every single last word for the insurance companies, not to mention also the CEO bosses who are ripping me off and taking all my money and throwing my job away, not really because of the writing, but because they want the money and they don't care how much I write. They'll make sure they get the money and not my writing. That's what really happened. And not only that, I was letting some of the clients go who were really low on the amount of dose they were getting from methadone. Some of them were only getting 1 milligram and had been at the clinic for years and years and years and years and years and really were ready to get off of it. We're no longer doing heavy drugs. So I helped them get better and get off the system. Really, I think they wanted to keep those guys and gals on the system. And would have made more money if I'd kept them like that, but they didn't mention that, and I didn't think of it. And c'est la vie, man. Such is life. But I want to say thank you to all the Modesto High School students who had me as their counselor from the years 2005 to 2007, somewhere around there. I really liked doing that job. It was not very easy. Um, those of you who aren't aware of this, when you're a counselor at a high school, it's not as easy as sending out slips to the rooms to have the kids come to your office. You'd think it'd be like you send out one of these hall pass things to one of their rooms where they're getting taught, and then they'll come to your counseling room. No way, man. Most of the time they get that hall pass and they'd bail. They would literally, and we're not even talking like sophomores or juniors or seniors here. Freshmen and sophomores bailing on you when they get their hall pass to come and see you as a counselor. They literally just skip school. I would put out about 2 or 3 or 4 hall passes around 8:30 in the morning, and sometimes by about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I still hadn't seen anybody or couldn't find anybody. I'd go to the classes, and that kid was gone. So it wasn't always like that. That's why I say thank you to those who participated. Thank you to the students and teachers who participated with me as your counselor, even though I could tell some of the teachers didn't like me as a counselor that much, thought I was too young and I was, didn't have enough experience. You know what? I kind of agree. I only kind of agree because it took me another 4 years of schooling before I was allowed to do that. And I had that ability to do that 4 years earlier. I got my best training in counseling from a paraprofessional telephone suicide watch kind of hotline. The Santa Barbara County hotline, I worked for them from 1999 to 2000. No, 1998 to 1999. Long time ago. Well, over 24 years ago. But I was the best counselor I've ever been during that time, mainly because I got a really great teacher named Annie who had taught me and my buddy Will and a whole bunch of other people how to be a counselor for the paraprofessional telephone counseling. So I ended up having an office and a phone, and I'd wait for phone calls to come in, and I really kind of missed that service. But that was a volunteer service, and like many of you who are doing the same service now know, that's sometimes a service they provide for people to volunteer to do that for a year or two. It's not often that they let people do that for very long. Not exactly sure why, except that I guess you can get a little burnout listening to people on suicide watches because if you do it for years and years and years, you could get a little burnout listening to it. And if you get burnt out, you won't say the right things necessarily. I say necessarily because, heck, even Ted Bundy once worked suicide hotline. That was a big thing in the 80s and 90s. They were telling people Ted Bundy worked at a suicide prevention hotline. So, gosh, those people who are trying to keep you from killing yourself, those aren't good people. Like, gosh, man, really? So, they are actually, by the way. They are. There's some really good people. If some of you don't want to call me and you're really depressed, or you've got some really hardcore PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, or ADHD, or OCD, or personality disorders, something in your life you can't handle. Maybe your spouse is doing something you can't handle, whatever. You can call these hotline, warm lines, and talk to people, and they'll just kind of counsel you. And they'll work through the issues with you. They'll talk to you about uh, where it is that may be causing problems. Yeah, that's about it. That's about all they'll do. But hey, sometimes that's all we need, man. Some of us at 3 in the morning, that whole witching hour ain't going real well. You're going, hey, I'm here all by myself and stressed out. I'm gonna call these warm lines. There you go. You can call them. Yeah. Good luck as far as what to say, because that's the kind of next thing. You call them and you think you're gonna have something to say, and then get a little shut down. Oh, gosh, what was I gonna say to this person? I don't even know. Get a little nervous. I had this guy call me one time and told me he had a gun. He was gonna hurt himself, and then he told me, "I'll forget about me," and he hung up on me. Don't worry about me, man. He hung up. I worried a long time about that guy. I still remember him saying that because he told me how ready he was to go, and then he told me, "Don't worry about it." I hope he didn't do it. Okay, now on a lighter note, I could bring up this eBay store of mine. Haven't made any real changes. You'll see the link right down there. I haven't made any changes to it in a few weeks, but that's not to say that there aren't already some really good products on there. You might want to check them out. If you feel like doing a little gift shopping, yeah, do a little gift shopping with Chuck Store, eBay.com. You want to get on there and get yourself some gifts. Yeah, buy yourself some video games or jewelry. Yeah. That'd make my life a little bit happier by point something, man. Figure out the point something after they buy whatever they buy, point. But like I said, tonight at 8 o'clock to 10 p.m., I believe it is the open mic at McClintock's in the Village Rio Grande. So make sure you bring a guitar, maybe 3 songs you'd like to sing up in your mind, and practice maybe a little bit, maybe a little not, a little yes, a little no. Play it anyway. Bring your guitar and play. Come on. We'd love to have some new artists on tonight. I'm pretty sure we got Ryan Jenkins hosting, and Scott and I will be there. Alex and Joy, I believe, and a whole bunch of other people will be there for you to play music for you. And if you want to join us and play some music too, we'd love to have you. Just go ahead and talk to the host Ryan Jenkins before the set, and bring your guitar. Yeah. Hey, if you want a sideman saxophone, like I kind of do, bring a saxophone, and we'll see if we can play 2 saxophones over some people's songs. Sometimes. Well, I know that's one thing I like to do. I'll just sideman over some of folk songs and put some saxophone licks in there. If you want to bring a saxophone, try and do that with me, and we'll do 2 saxophones. I'll be bringing a soprano saxophone tonight. So if someone could bring any other type of saxophone, an alto, a tenor, a baritone, a contrabass, a sopranino, any of those saxophones right there. You bring one of those. We'll figure out something to play with these guys. It'll be a lot of fun. So, Mind Talker Show. Now we're going to just wait a few moments for that caller. We usually have a caller who calls in about this time, and I'm just going to wait for him now. Got my home phone here, cell phone here. It's 5:08 p.m. If you want to call into the show, it's 805-574-9025. And I'm going to put that on the screen here for you. So if you want to call in and specifically talk about shopping. Yeah, let's talk about shopping. Let's talk about online shopping. I love the idea, right? You don't have to leave your house anymore. You can just stay at home. And someone will be calling in here in just a few moments. I'm pretty sure it's probably you. You need to call in. 805-574-9025. I'll wait for you.
Sitting all alone, mouth full of gum in the driveway. My friends aren't far, in the back of my car, lay their bodies. Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Maybe pretty soon, look into my room for the money. And biting my nails, I'm too young to go to jail. It's kinda funny. Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Maybe it's in the gutter where I left my lover. What an expensive thing. My feet is falling dead. I thought that I'd feel better, and now I got a bellyache. I'm scared, like I could be anywhere, like I'm reckless.
Like I'm reckless.
I lost my mind. I don't mind. Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Maybe it's in the gutter, but I left my number. One of these sunset maybe it's for the dinner. Thought that I was better. Now I got a bellyache. Maybe it's in the gutter, where I left my number. One of these sunset maybe it's for the dinner. I thought that I was better. Now I got a bellyache.
Great video. Thank you, Billie Eilish and friends and families. Y'all are awesome. Yeah, let's see. Oh, big time.
What if you could make analyzing a big bank's data no big deal?
Go on.
Well, what?
Still waiting for a caller here.
Hi there. I'm on my way, I'm making it. I've got to make it show, so
much larger than life. Big time.
I'm
gonna watch it grow in.
The place where I come from is a small town. They think so small, they use small words.
You small world. But not me.
I'm smarter than that.
Smarter than that.
I worked it out.
Worked it out.
I've been stretching my mouth to let those big words come right out. I'm writing out, I'm getting out to the city, the big, big city. I'll be a big noise with all the big boys, so much stuff I will know. I'm not afraid to be gone too.
I'm afraid of the big guy. The big church.
I'm making
Big time. Big time.
I've got to make it show, yeah.
Big time. Big time.
So much larger than life. I'm gonna watch it grow in.
I'm hoping by stalling these out a little before they're completely through, I'll avoid copyright infringement. Love these songs, man. I'm not sure what the best way to avoid copyright issues is at this point, other than to say, really thank you, Peter Gabriel, big time. Okay, friends out there, listen very carefully. Number one, follow the Jesus. Number two, forgive your friends and family for the things they may say or do. They know not what they do. Hold on just a moment. Those were Jesus' words. They know not what they do. That's twice. Hold on. Let me tell you one more time. This is what Jesus said about other people. They know not what they do. So forgive them, Father. And I guess if you have a friend you haven't talked to in a while and you've been like, I can't stand this person for whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent, you need to give them a call. You need to reach out. It's not right to totally abandon people psychologically, metaphorically, systematically. The more we abandon people, the more problems there's going to be in this world, man. It's just frustrating. When you just want to say hello, much love, take care, have a great day. And that's like all you want to say to people. But they don't even want to hear that. It really makes you start to think that they wanted a lot more from you in the first place. And it makes you think, what in the world do these people want from me that I couldn't give them? That they didn't like me. Right? Isn't that kind of how you can sometimes perceive that? But I'll also say, if it happens to you, which I know it has, I've heard a lot of you happen it to you as well. When someone says, "I'm just not going to call that person back. I am never going to talk to that person again. I am done talking to that person." Well, maybe you got something else you need to work on. That's usually the next answer. That's the next answer in my book. Let that person go. Oh well, they won't call back. Now, need you give them a little call? Yeah, give them a call. Let them know everything about, this, that, about the other. Let them know everything, you know, especially if they're on the outskirts of never talking again. Make sure you've laid out all your cards so that they don't have any more questions, because that's usually what happens. You run into a jealous or a taking type of individual. So if you lay out all your cards, they can't take anything else from you. They can't take even your emotional status from being happy to being sad because you lost your friend. Sometimes in living life we lose our friends along the way. Okay, doesn't mean that the other people who are showing up there for us don't love us. They do. So keep that in mind. In fact, I can think of about 5 other people in my mind right about now who would love to talk to me compared to some people. So that's another thing you do. Take it on the outskirts. Reach out to those other 5 people. Let that one person just go, man. Yeah, I guess I'm telling you, let him go, him or her go. It's kind of righteous if you think about it. I think a lot of people think it's very bad first, but then you realize, no, that's righteous. That means God is taking over where you can't intervene. God is taking over. That's fantastic because God is good always. Now, really, if I didn't have Jesus in my life, I wouldn't be reaching out to you like this. He's the only saving grace on this earth. And if you haven't figured it out yet, boy, I'm real sad for you. That's too bad. But I'm going to keep happiness in my heart over the realization of the truth, because the truth will set you free. Work does not set you free. Work puts you in a concentration camp, okay? The truth is Jesus. The truth, the life, the way. And the truth will set you free, not work. Work will not set you free. Truth will set you free. And if someone tells you never look them in the eyes, don't look them in the eyes again. They've already sealed things up. Okay, let's see what else. All I have to say is if you don't have Jesus in your heart right now, what you need to do is just say in your mind, heart, and soul is Jesus, come into my heart right now and make me the man you want me to be. Amen. That's all you need to say to yourself. You can just close your eyes, kind of focus on that. Jesus, come into my heart and make me the man you want me to be. Jesus, come into my heart and make me the man you want me to be. Something like that, folks. Amen. Works every time. So for those of you on the digger line, man, you brought up some of them coins from the reserve. Just buy some of them products on eBay for me, would you? Help support the station here. If you want, here I'll put a QR code on here. You can buy the Restream family a coffee. You can also buy yourself a demo mic. It looks like you can see either or you can just donate. And we'll put donate here for you. You can donate to the stream right up there at that QR code. Or you can not. You don't got to donate. I'm going to do this show regardless. And thank you so much for joining me. It really is nice. These UFOs, too, are getting a lot better. We've been dealing with some of those lately. Prayers kind of shut down UFOs. Yeah. Less lights in the sky. But here we've been seeing some angels flying around out there. I'm waiting for them to go ahead and confirm on that. But you got more stuff that's looking like some kind of unusual television show. But yeah, angels are out there, man. God bless them. Out there to spare us during those acutely difficult times, man. Angels will step in and fight your war for you so you don't have to fight because God's got the fight. Vengeance is the Lord's alone. Vengeance is the Lord's alone. So if there's someone in your life seeking vengeance on you and makes you want to send vengeance on them, just know that God's going to take care of all that. No need to seek vengeance, for it is the Lord's alone. He will do everything in his power to save you as long as you pray to him and ask his love to be with you always, wherever you go. And for those of you working for the love of money and you're in a lot of pain, start working for the love of God and not for money. And that pain will go away. I used to work for money. I worked for money outside of college and did the runaround corporate thing for a long time. Now I work for the Lord. It's a totally different type of situation. And when you do that, your stress levels get to be set differently. You know, particularly if your passion isn't rolling as much with your profession, then working for God will clear that up immediately. Pull out the Bible, give it a good read, give a good pray, go to church on Sunday, and be a good steward. In other words, steer people towards good things: food, fun, love, peace, hope, and joy. Everybody just, focus on good things. Get a cat. If you're lucky, you'll get gifted a cat. I got gifted a cat. This guy wanted to be on my show so bad he showed up. This is Fitzgerald. Say hi, Fitzgerald. You want to say hi? You want to say hi, Fitzgerald? Okay. He's a little camera shy. Just a little bit. He doesn't know he's on it though. You're on the show there, Fitzy. Yeah, well. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm so sorry. It's been a fantastic show. I'm really glad to be with you here today. This goes out to all the Facebook friends who've been messaging me and saying, hello, hi, how are you? I haven't been able to get back to all of you because I've added more of you on here than I can answer back on a messenger. So I decided to do a show too to reach out to you like that. So to all my new friends, hello, thank you so much for joining up. And just forgive your friends who don't want to talk to you anymore. That's all I can really say. Forgive and forget. That'll help. I have ways, I have methods. We forgive, we forget, we continue on. So grab your guitars and meet me over at McClintock's in a few hours. All right. Have a great day.